All right, just a quick inventory of what you'll have inside your box. You'll have the StowNCharge phone rest with the brackets and your instruction card. Scan that for this video. This is a little spudger tool. This can help you remove the Rivian mat, but what it's really useful for is removing the StowNCharge if you need to remove it. So hold on to this. All right, here's how you install the chargers in the StowNCharge. First off, make sure you have a clean work surface. You don't want to have any debris that could scratch the surface or anything like that. So make sure that's clean. Make sure you have your chargers here. If you have the JSOX chargers, it comes with this USB A to C adapter. We don't need those, so I suggest you just clip it and take it off and get rid of it. All right, so this is the phone rest piece. On the back, we have some brackets that keep the MagSafe chargers in place. Go ahead and remove those. You just pull that little tab forward and pop it out. And then place your chargers in place and route the cable through the channel. So like this. Around, and then it actually needs to go into that and up like so. Okay. You might want to use like a pencil or something just to make sure this is nice and underneath and going up. Make sure you to reinstall your brackets and just put them in there like that and push down. And that just keeps them nice and secure. Okay, so the next step is this is going to go on top of the main unit here. And we need to route the wires through these holes. So one key thing, make sure you don't crisscross your wires, as that would be problematic. So I like to just set it like this, and usually I just like put the edge over the table so I can feed it through and then pull it through. Like so. And the other one. All right, just kind of keep pulling it down, and then you want to line up these little tabs. Just make sure it's kind of straight, and yeah, lined up pretty good. It doesn't clip in or anything, and nothing actually holds it in until you put it in the car. The car actually keeps it in once you install it. All right, so now flip it over, and we're going to use these kind of spools here to wind our cables and keep them neat. I actually like to plug my plug-in first and kind of wind from that side. I find that makes it a little easier. So I plugged it in and now winding from here. And I just kind of use my other finger to kind of push down, keep it low on the spool here. One thing to be careful is you don't want to push too hard down. You could, this thing is up like a panel, and you could pop it out, which would be bad. And if that does happen, you can flip it over, and you'd have to take the phone rest off and pop it back in. So it's not breaking it, but will cause you some time to fix. All right, so once you get close to the end here, you want to use these little ridges to kind of route the cables. Something like that. Yeah, just to keep it nice and snug. Just no loose wires. And then repeat with the smaller one. Keep it nice and secure. At this point, I'm all set. I'm ready to go out to the car. It's nice and secure. Cables are good. We're lined up straight. So let's head on out to the car.
All right, here's how you remove the existing Rivian charging mat so you can install some of our products that require that. So the first step is this mat, like I said, and there's tape underneath here, double sticky tape that holds this main part down, and the front part is just held in by some tabs. So what you do is you start at the front, and you kind of just peel it back until they pop out pretty easy, and then you're gonna just pull the rest back. Mine's very loose because I've pulled it out a lot, but yours will be a little tighter. But really it's just going to be a matter of pulling it back like this, and it'll go and come off like that. So then you just put that aside, and then we need to remove the actual charger. So what's holding this in is these 3 tabs here, here, and here. And you can just use your fingernails to kind of pull those tabs back while pulling up on the pad. Or if your fingernails aren't particularly strong, you could try something like a plastic card or kind of spudger, something like that. But what I like to do is I take my left hand, and I pull up on it by grabbing the pocket here. So I'm pulling up, and then I just go on each tab and I just start pressing, and eventually it starts to give way. I've got it up a little bit now, not quite there yet, and it's a lot easier to push now at this height. So just keep going. And now it's free. So don't just yank it out. It's plugged in, and you're going to need to unplug it. So take it, flip it over, and then you'll see the plug right here. So it has a little button on the plug here. So depress the button and kind of jiggle it slightly to get it out, and it should pop right out. All right, so that is basically it for removing the charging pad, and you're ready to install your product. All right, the first step of getting this thing in now is to plug in the power cord. So what you're gonna do is make sure the button is facing up and just slide it on in. Depending on lighting conditions, you might be able to see a little red light here, which just means it's getting power. Red is good in this case. So don't worry about it if you see a red light. Red equals good. Now we wanna turn it over, and one thing that can be a problem sometimes is if you have too much of this cord coming up forward and getting stuck underneath, it'll stop it from going flat. So what you can do is you can actually kind of use your other hand to kind of guide it back further, more towards this side. And what we're going to do is there's 3 tabs here, and we're going to put those 3 tabs into there's 3 slots on the bottom. So kind of put this up against the back wall, slide it down until you kind of can tell you're in those tabs. And then you can also take your hand here and make sure the cord's not anywhere where it can cause underneath forward. And then from here we just kind of push it down. Push down, you'll kind of hear a snap. It's not quite in all the way yet. And then just one more push ought to do it. And now we're snapped in, and we should be all set. If you actually want to remove the StowNCharge, this is why we included this spudger tool. It will help you get it out. Be gentle with it. You don't want to scratch your wood or anything, so I would just suggest being cautious and not being overly aggressive. But what you need to do is kind of lift up a little bit to get a little bit of a crack underneath, and then you can slide this little guy in like this. And what you need to do is just make this thing flex a little bit so that you can pop it out. So just go like this and pull up. And at this point, I actually prefer just to use my fingers to flex the plastic a little bit, like so. I just take 2 fingers, kind of pull up like that, and then you're able to get it out. Just a quick look at why you have to do that. We have this tab in the front that sticks out that goes underneath this part where the Rivian Pad also used it to keep everything down. So that this tab here goes into this little slot, and that's why we have the spudger tool. I'll just show a quick example of how to do that one more time. Snapped it in. Take my spudger tool, pull up, just get it in the crack, kind of slide it in, and then I kind of pull this way to kind of flex it, and that's how it pops out. And then I use my fingers to do the rest. Let's get it back in again, double snap, good to go. All right, thank you.